All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Madam Foreperson, I understand you have reached a verdict as to each defendant.
We have.
Please hand your verdict forms to the sheriff. I'm going to go ahead and address each one of these verdict forms separately. First verdict form I have is the State of Georgia versus Travis McMichael. Mr. McMichael, please stand. Verdict is as follows. In the Superior Court of Glenn County, State of Georgia, the State of Georgia versus Travis McMichael, case number CR000433. Jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. I'm going to ask that whoever just made an outburst be removed from the court, please. As this court has indicated, I ask that there be no outbursts in the court, and I expect as much from the gallery. Please respect the court's desire for this as we move forward. If you feel like you need to make a comment or otherwise demonstrate with respect to the verdict, I do ask that you step out of the courtroom now. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. Dated this 24th day of November, 2021, signed by the foreperson. Have a seat. As to Gregory McMichael. In the Superior Court of Glenn County, the State of Georgia versus Greg McMichael, case number CR000433. Jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, not guilty. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. This 24th day of November, 2021, signed by the foreperson. As to William R. Bryan. In the Superior Court of Glenn County, State of Georgia versus William R. Bryan, case number CR 2000433, jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan not guilty. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan not guilty. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Count 4, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Count 5, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Count 6, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan not guilty. Count 7, aggravated assault. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Count 8, false imprisonment. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Count 9, criminal attempt to commit a felony. We, the jury, find the defendant William R. Bryan guilty. Signed this 24th day of November by the foreperson. Go ahead, have a seat. Court having read the verdicts and accepted the verdicts, anything from the state?
No, Your Honor, nothing from the state.
Anything from the defense?
We ask the jury be polled, Your Honor.
All defendants ask the jury be polled? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask each of you individually a set of 2 questions with respect to the verdicts that I have just read. If you could please respond when you hear your juror number. Juror number 1, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 2, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now? I can't. Okay, 2. Juror number 3, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes.
Juror number 4, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
Juror number 5, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 7, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 8, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 9, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 10, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 11, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Juror number 12, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, Your Honor.
And juror 16, you have heard the verdicts read. Were these your verdicts then, and are these your verdicts now?
Yes, sir.
The jury has been polled. Anything further from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
From Greg McMichael?
No, Your Honor.
From Mr. Bryan?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, what that means with the court having accepted your verdict is that your role in this case is now at an end. What we're going to do today is I'm going to have all of you, the panel and the 3 alternates, go ahead and retire into the jury room. I'm going to address a couple matters logistically with you in the jury room once we get done here. But before we do that, and before I excuse you, I do want to thank you publicly for your service here in Glenn County. It has been a long trial, and I appreciate the fact that you have been attentive. You've listened to the evidence, and that is what we ask in this court. It's a very simple ask in a very complex way, so it's appreciated. When we all got together, I say we all got together, when we got together at different times, I said that I was going to thank you a number of times and how I was going to tell you I do truly appreciate your time here. Hopefully you understand why I said that when we started. I do also hope that you got a little bit of an insight into what goes on in a trial and maybe understand a little bit more of how important it is for members of our community to come down and be part of this process and serve as jurors in this community. So again, thank you for that service. And I'll come address y'all in just a moment. You're excused.
All right, for the jury.
Okay. So that about wraps that up. All the verdicts are in. Those are all, not all guilty, but for the murder, for the stiffest charges. The McMichaels have been charged. I can't think of the other man's name. He's charged as well for felony murder, but some of the other lesser charges he's not charged with.
Sentencing, to go ahead and give everybody some time to put together what they need to put together for a full sentencing hearing. I'm going to have to look at the schedule and see how that works with my schedule up in Chatham County and the schedule here in Glynn County. I'll get back to everybody about some dates and see what works with respect to dates. That should give everybody an opportunity to put together whatever evidence may be shown in aggravation.
This was a really rough trial. Really rough.
Hopefully we'll get to that in the next couple of weeks. Make sure council knows what those dates are.
I wish peace to the family, to the Arbery family in particular, and healing as soon as possible. You know, the verdict is in, but, you know, they're not going to have their son back. That, you know, so that part is permanent. There was so much extra drama, too, though, that was thrown in this case. That just made it, oops, I didn't mean to do that. That's just was crazy. But, yeah, that's the end of that. So, whoever is still in is here. I don't know if you saw it from the earlier part, but the dad had to be removed from the courtroom, Ahmaud Arbery's father. So the judge had said that, you know, they could have no outbursts during this court, during this time. But as soon as they read the first verdict on the son, the McMichael, he did have an outburst. You know, it was like a, you know, he was just thankful. You know, his son was murdered. He didn't know how this case was really going to go. So he had to be removed. That was, you know, tough to see because he really only got to hear one. Oh, somebody's yelling. Oh, they're on the bullhorn now. Yeah, so I know a lot of people feel like it is a victory because of the way everything played out. Again, his dad had to be removed from the courtroom, Ahmaud Arbery, because he got upset, you know. Not upset, he was, you know, not what they call an outburst, you know, when they read the verdict. So, you know, it's understandable. But that was it. So they did all get their guilty on the felony murder charges. If anyone has any thoughts on the guilty pleas, you can, you know, put it in there if you want to say anything or have any feedback you want to give, any thoughts on this case. This was a rough case, you know, mostly on the family and those that really knew him, I know. Again, if you missed it, they all got the all guilty pleas for the felony murder. Some of the lesser charges of the driver of the truck, he was found not guilty for, but the stiffer charges did stay. All right, peace to those who came through. If no one has a comment to make or doesn't really want to speak up right now, that's fine. That was the end of the verdict. The verdict has been in. As far as the felony murder charges, they have all been found guilty. Hey, I don't know why it's not allowing me to type. Trying to fix the screen. How you been doing? Hopefully all is well with you.
Defendants, appreciate y'all. It ain't been rough for them. It ain't been hard. It ain't been easy for them. Excuse me. It's been rough and hard for them. But after this day, you gotta continue to lift this family up. Not just on this day you show them you love them, but on other days you gotta show them you love them. When the times get hard, when February 23rd come around, it ain't about a photo op, as these black so-called leaders have done, have failed our community. Say his name. 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 Say h
We saw 24 guilty verdicts from this jury. There had been some concern that this was an incredibly complex set of charges for this jury to consider, but it seems as though they had clarity about what happened here and how they were going to find these three defendants.
I keep putting the phone down to type the other thing to use this.
Yeah, so let me just explain the way the
That's
charges
good. I'm
work.
glad you're good.
The easiest
Appreciate you
defendants were
coming through
charged
too.
with 5
Very
different
much,
types of
very
murder.
much.
They were charged with malice murder. They were charged with felony
All
murder.
right.
With
I
the
wish
shotgun.
everyone a
That was
good
one
day.
count.
So the verdict
Another
is
count was
in,
felony
and
murder with
that'll
the truck.
pretty
Another
much
count was
wrap it
felony
up.
murder and the felony being false imprisonment.
All right.
And the
I wish
other count
everyone
was
a good
felony
day.
murder and the
Peace.
felony being attempted false imprisonment. And so the jury was pretty thoughtful about the way they did that. The murder is the murder. I mean, they're all going to jail for life because they were convicted of murder. But they convicted the person who actually shot Mr. Arbery with the malice murder and the felony murder with the shotgun and everything else. But they were more discriminating when it came to Roddy Bryan because he didn't have the shotgun in his hand, but they convicted him of the felony murder with the assault with the truck and the false imprisonment and the attempted false imprisonment.